As most of you know, I love to research, read, and know more. So recently, I started digging, to find out the first film that was shot in Nigeria. And I did. And that film is titled Palaver, a romance of the northern Nigeria. The film was shot in 1925 and released in 1926. It stands as the first feature film in Nigeria. It was a silent film in the sense that there were no sound or spoken words, but as you can see from the video on your screen, the descriptions and dialogues were written on the screen before the actions were displayed. So it's like a novel, but instead of seeing it in your imaginative mind, you're seeing it visualized on screen. Palaver was shot in the colonial Nigeria. By colonial Nigeria, I mean when Nigeria was ruled by the British Empire, which was from the mid-19th century to 1960, when Nigeria gained her independence. This was our flag when we were ruled by the British before it became this. Palaver was produced by the British Instructional Films, a British production company that operated between 1919 to 1932. Palaver was a silent film because it was shot before the sound era. Film sound era began in 1927 and Palaver was shot in 1925 and released in 1926, which means that all that films that were shot before 1927 were all soundless. And if you follow me, my next video, I will talk about silence and sound eras. So back to Palaver. Palaver ran for 108 minutes. It was shot in black and white and was notable for using local non-actors of Nigerian descent in the film. Palaver was written by Bacchus Geoffrey, a passionate filmmaker who served in the First World War. He was born 27th August 1896 and died on the 3rd of September 1979 at the age of 83. Bacchus also produced and directed Palaver, and we can say he was a man of many skills. Palaver was filmed among the Sura and Angas people of the Bauchi Plateau in the northern Nigeria. This was before the ethnic groups were split and each now has its own name. Nigeria barely had up to 12 states then. Palaver's synopsis goes like this. In Bauchi Plateau, a British district officer and a tin miner gets head-on a rivalry that leads to war. So it opens with the witch doctor telling the king that war is coming, he should be careful and all. Then it goes forward to show how the whole war leads. Now this is how it happens. The tin miner was in love with a girl, he's eyeing her, showing all those advances and all, and she too was admiring him, giving him green lights. So on this particular day, she goes somewhere and on her way back her car spoils, it wasn't working at all. So the district officer sees her, offers help and offers that she passes the night at his place. She passes the night at his place, and the next morning the tin miner comes to the district officer's house to speak to him on something important and finds his babe in her pajamas in his house. He gets upset, he feels somehow, and ready. He decides to confront the district officer, but he says that it was not going to work, in order to woo this girl and keep him to himself, because he was a tin miner who was about to even lose his job, and then this person is an officer that can take his babe at any point. He decides to go to the king Diwaya, King Dawaya, and then he offers him alcohol, which they use mostly in terms of medicine or unlawful liquor. So he offers the king alcohol and the king drinks to stupor. When an event came, the king was all drunk at the event, messed up. So the officer suspects that, okay, I think my guy that is fighting for this woman is fighting me. I think she sent by the king. He goes to the tin miner's house and still sees the tin miner drunk with same unlawful liquor. So he decides, okay, he's going to run one or two to sort this out. Somehow they get this rivalry gets to war, like the two men begins to fight, and then the tin miner who has already brought the king off with alcohol tells the king about the vote, and the king supports the tin miner and takes his men to war to find the officer. The war goes on for some time. Somehow the officer is able to maneuver and then win the war, and then as he wins the war, He explains to the king what happened and tells the king, see, this guy even gave you wine to buy you off. He won't want to arrest you. He wants to come and arrest you. For instance, he convinces the king with some lies. The king gets upset, hurries to the tin miner's house and kills the tin miner. As the king kills the tin miner, oh, okay, that's how that part ends. And the next thing we're seeing is this. In summary, let me just say, in summary, the film ends with the tin miner dying while trying to prove his love for the nursing sister that everybody was eyeing, that him and this man was fighting for. He dies for it, yet the officer still proposes to this girl and she accepts. My dear, don't die for love. It will not favor you, believe me. Don't die for love. So I'll battle back to our movie Palaver. Palaver was shot for the British audience. But then let me blow your mind. I saw several reviews, but this one caught my eyes, where it says that it was shot to show the British how much that they have, like the British has achieved in taming, and I say in quotes, the Africans were uncivilized and cannibals less than 10 years ago, to not be able to feature in film. So my dear, I don't really know what to make of that. It's not really but let's keep moving forward. Although this one was set in Nigeria, no Nigerian played the lead. The three leads were all played by British people. So with this, I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please follow me for more videos like this. Like, subscribe, and follow, share, and let me know your thoughts on this. Thank you for watching. I really appreciate it. Ciao.